Hi, I'm Nicola Costa. I am the Marketing Communications Associate with Xfabula.
I'm Aaliyah McHatton. I'm the event producer with Xfabula.
And our mission is to connect Milwaukee through real stories. And we are going to talk to you about our Brave Space project, which was inspired by a personal experience I had in Detroit, Michigan, attending the Allied Media Conference, where I attended a workshop that was for POC only, which means people of color only. And it came to a shock to me because I'd never experienced something like that before, but it also became a very liberating experience as well, because then I was able to bring what I learned from that experience over to Xfabula, and some of the key points that I took away from that was that the importance of people of color being able to share their stories with each other and without the white gaze, which Toni Morrison talks a lot about in some of her work. And so the Brave Space was developed out of that personal experience.
Here at Xfabula, we say that a brave space is very similar to a safe space. However, we can't guarantee anyone's safety. People are always going to be people. So we try to make sure that everyone that enters a brave space not only feels welcome, but can feel confident in the skills that they have. Even further, we try to make sure that every single person has the ability and time to share their personal story. So you may not feel totally comfortable in the space, but you will feel confident and welcomed enough to share your story in that space. We found that by creating an affinity space, which is a space just for folk who share a common identifier, that we can remove a lot of the issues that people of color are experiencing when we're going to share our stories. Those issues often being feeling like our feelings are invalid, feeling like that there is going to be harm caused by the white folk in the room, often feeling like we're going to be stereotyped for how we feel or the experiences we've had. So by creating a space with people who understand those nuances, we remove the feeling of harm, of threat that is encroaching and is intrusive.
Yeah, and we're able to authentically share with each other in this circle. So let's talk a little bit about the impact that the Brave Space would have on participants.
So through our Brave Space project, we have had the fortune to work with several different historically marginalized groups of folk in our city, those being Black professionals, veterans, fathers of color, and our deaf community here in Milwaukee. Through those projects, we've been able to really connect with people we typically wouldn't have connected with otherwise. We are able to also bring those folk who didn't know that they shared an identifier into one space. This also created a very intimate, loving atmosphere that contributed to our Brave Space. That atmosphere allowed for a healing space to happen. It created a system of resonance where people who heard a story connected with it and then were able to say, I connected with you, I heard you, and I see you. And that feeling became much more impactful than we ever imagined.
Yes.
These spaces also give folk a way to sharpen their skills and not just think about how the stories affect other folk. So it gives you a chance to really figure out all the things you want to say them to people who will understand you, and then take them into other spaces where we typically wouldn't have shared those stories, or we would have felt threatened to share those stories, giving us a sense of incremental risk, being able to take those smaller steps for ourselves. A wonderful person who has been through all of our workshops and is an avid community member, Ms. Delisha Morris, says that because of the storytelling workshops through Xfabula, some of the shyest people in the community have now become leaders in our community. And they keep pushing awareness and resources to the community at large, which is incredible. Thank you, Delisha.
Yes, so our workshops provide or hold space for people of a shared identity to authentically share with each other, and then the flow that we hope that they go through would eventually go to a story circle, and then eventually to a larger stage with the general public audience, so they're gaining confidence also while simultaneously healing.
We're so appreciative of the amazing participants that have come through, and we cannot wait to keep reaching more and more people in our very siloed and segregated city of Milwaukee.